Hey guys, Weebie here. So today I'm going to be doing my review for Danganronpa 3 Despair Side Episode 4, and I know this video is a little bit later than usual, and it's a little bit shorter than usual as well. I apologize for that. Life has just gotten in the way of posting this video sooner, and for its shortness, I kind of rushed it a little bit more, because generally I feel like with these videos I have like a 24, 48 hour time limit to post them after the episode airs, so I didn't really want to take too much time making it, and also there wasn't really too much for me to talk about regarding theories, or at least that I saw in this episode. So I apologize if I missed anything, and I hope you're still able to enjoy the review, and let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to say is the fact that I was just so dead ass wrong about how they were going to explain the whole Ruka, Seiko, Izuyoi situation. I really did not think they were going to dedicate a whole episode to it. I thought at most they would just kind of hint towards it a little bit. But they did in fact decide to dedicate a whole episode to it, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed seeing Seiko, especially in Ruka, and Izuyoi younger, and kind of like what exactly happened between them. Although I do think I would have preferred to have seen more of the 77th class and how Kuzuryu's little sister's death has affected them, but regardless, I did still enjoy this episode. Another interesting thing is that this episode connects to the light novel Makoto Naegi's Worst Day Ever, which, I'll be honest, it's one of the few light novels for Danganronpa that I haven't read yet. The only reason I knew that it connected was because of OmegaValwin's video, and I saw that it connected on Taichinchin's Tumblr. They mentioned it there too, so I'll link both their accounts in the description, and I'll also link a translation to Makoto Naegi's Worst Day Ever as well. And I plan on trying to get around to reading it soon too. So a basic synopsis of the whole entire thing is that at first we see Chisa telling the 77th class they have to take a practice exam, and of course everybody is still bummed out about everything that had happened previously, so Komaeda, being the caring student that he is, comes up with this crazy plan in order to postpone the exams. He starts out by bribing Teruteru with a Mizuno photo book in order to meet the super high school level pharmacist, Seiko Kimura. So when he visits Seiko, he asks if she could make him a laxative or if he could borrow a laxative for himself, but in reality he is using it as a part of his scheme to postpone the practice exams. And he also plants a bomb in the school gymnasium and puts up a ransom note saying that bad things will happen if the school practice exams aren't cancelled as well. But when he visits and tries to get the laxative, he confuses it with the special performance enhancing drug that Ruka wants to use instead. In this episode, we see a good bit of interaction with Ruka and Seiko, and from this it becomes obvious that Seiko is really the victim in this situation. It seems like Ruka is using her to benefit her own self, and that she also seems to be pretty manipulative as well. And of course, in this situation, Ruka ends up accidentally taking the laxative instead. But the next day, on the way to their respective destinations, Seiko and Komaeda bump into each other and end up switching bags. So Komaeda gets a bag full of medicine, and Seiko gets a bag full of Dr. Hopper and Komaeda's lovely bomb switch that he planted in there as well. The whole scene where Ruka presents her sweets to the judges is pretty funny. We see that the judges actually turn from translucent blue into actual people with character designs now, so it's a really cool moment. And once the laxative kicks in, that is when madness ensues and we begin to see the beginnings of Seiko and Ruka's feud. And of course, when they begin fighting, we see them eventually accidentally fall on the remote controller that Seiko brought with her, blowing up the entire gymnasium and eventually leading to all three of their expulsion. And we also know that from this huge debacle, Komaeda gets suspended indefinitely as well. And the interesting thing about Komaeda getting suspended for a little while, to me at least, is that a little while ago, around the time I first joined the fandom, maybe like over a year ago, I saw this fan theory floating around, and this theory was that Komaeda sort of ends up joining the Remnants of Despair last, and that he ends up joining them as to try and work from the inside and bring them all hope, but eventually succumbs into despair himself. And from my knowledge, there's no basis to this theory. I don't even know where the source of it is because it was so long ago that I saw it. And I think I honestly saw several people talking about it instead of just like one person. But I thought it was an interesting idea because it seems like something he would do, and now that he's suspended, I sort of wonder if that will come to play in this, and if that will be part of the story as to how he falls into despair. But that's just a cool little theory I wanted to share with you guys. There's also a really touching scene between Komaeda and Chisa where Komaeda explains his objectives and his sort of twisted sense of hope, and firstly Chisa slaps him, but then corrects him, telling him that he should not refer to himself as trash. And to me, this scene really showed how big of a positive impact Chisa has on the students, and it sort of makes more sense as to why they would include this episode in the first place, because I'm guessing it is important to the Despair plot that Komaeda is suspended, and it's obviously very important that Shisa is moved to the Reserve Corps students as well, because if she was still their teacher, I don't think Junko would be able to persuade them as much as she will be now that Chisa's out of the picture. And this will also give Chisa, Munakata, and Juzo a better look into the Reserve Course as well. And also in this episode we see that Chiaki is no longer being accompanied by Hajime at the water fountain anymore, as he has gone through with the Izuru Kamakura project. And finally, there is one Easter egg I want to point out from this episode, and it's the whole arc between Gundam and this dog that's involved in the episode, and it's pretty hilarious. So I saw this pointed out by Anti-sjw-Nagito and Komaesa on Tumblr, so I will as always link their blogs and the original post in the description if you guys want to check that out. But basically when the episode opens up, you can see 13 posters in the back of this dog, all posted by Gundam. And on the poster it reads, "Eating the entirety of the forbidden fruit, which circles the harbor, the tame demonic beast, which is steeped in that color on the dawn of its capture. Convey it to the one by the seal of Tanaka, wanted, alive, or alive." And also at the end of the episode you can see they're reunited again as well. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's probably a bit shorter than usual, but I wasn't able to put quite as much time into this video as some of my other ones, but like I said, I hope you guys still enjoyed it, and I will see you real soon. Oh my god, is Komaeda the reason they got expelled? Is he like the true reason? If he is, I'm gonna die. The power to turn people into main characters. God. No. Oh, the dog! It's with Gundam now.
Subscribe to Weeby News for more hope-filled videos.